Hey, what's going on, guys? How we doing? KLBELVIN here. Got my chain like that. I'm using my iPad, so you have to excuse me if I'm all over the place. I'm not used to using my iPad. I normally use my phone. Let me turn mic off here. Can never go wrong with Michael Jackson. Oh man, a missed talent. Very, very missed talent. I'm going to the barbershop. I look like I just climbed out of a cave. Anyway, roadblocks, professional roadblocks, minor or major. And Keisha, I think I saw you pop on. Great to see you. Let me see. Chico, okay. Chino, I'm sorry if I got that wrong. I apologize. Let me take a look. Rico, or Rocio. I apologize if I'm saying it wrong. But no, hello, my name is KLBELVIN. Hello. My name is KLBELVIN, and I just was thinking about how you deal with roadblocks or potholes or any type, hello, Miss Green, any type of adverse situation in your professional life. Those of us who are entrepreneurs know that we would love everything that we do to run smoothly. Now, mind you, I said we would like, and I think anybody in any form of business would like to have their day run smoothly. Life doesn't work that way. So we have to, Love Red, thank you for joining. We have to understand that even though the setbacks, minor or major, are going to hurt. Now, of course, if they're major, they're going to hurt more. But a minor cut can bother you almost as bad, hello, as a major cut. But either way, thank you for inviting your followers. Either way, what we have to look at is the real question to your roadblock, to your setback, whatever it is that has prevented you from having that smooth drive to the finish line of whatever you're doing. Hello from Russia, and hello back to Russia. You have to actually ask yourself, was it something I could have controlled? And thank you guys for sharing, and thank you guys for joining. Was it something that I controlled? And hey, love, hey, Sha, and if it is, do not beat yourself up, but attempt to learn from it. And if it's out of your control, stop right there. Slam on the brakes and just deal. Now, when I say just deal, I know that's easier said than done because when expectations are not met. So let me back up and fill you in on everything. Thank you for the hearts. Fill you in. I am working on or have completed my third book. I had set a deadline for myself of having my book released on the 27th, Black Friday. I have done all the necessary steps with the promotion and the marketing to push everything towards that weekend of Black Friday and Cyber Monday. And from then on, just got my bookmarks today. I have a promotional package in place. I have everything in place. Well, unfortunately, I hit a roadblock. And so my book, this is what I'm doing now. Yes. And so, the other night I was getting very frustrated, and last night I was getting beyond frustrated. But then I had to catch myself because I let that carry over to today. And I'm driving, and I stopped, and I had to pull over. And I do that a lot. I pull over to think. You don't want to get into an accident trying to drive and really think deeply. And I had to catch myself and said, you know what? Let's stop for a second. I am getting upset about a self-imposed deadline. I'm getting upset about something that I cannot control. Yes, I'm relying on somebody else to do what they need to do. But once I gave that job to them, I can't now get upset to the point that I can't function. Now, what I can do is consider the situation. Consider if I'll go this route again. Consider if there's anything that maybe I could have did differently, if possible. If not, then I'll just wait. And once I have things back on track, we go from there. Now, I have promotional material that says pre-orders turn that negative into a positive, no doubt. I have promotional materials that say the pre-orders, the book will be released the 27th. Okay. I am still going to use those because technically the 27th hasn't come yet. So I haven't missed anything. So I'm actually getting upset on the 21st, and the 27th hasn't come yet. Now, everything that I have done, have I done it in 6 days before? Never. Doesn't mean it can't be done. So I've turned this around and said, well, let's see how much I can get done between now and the release date. So if I still have to use promotional material that has that date, or I have to throw it to the side, well, then it's of no use to me on the 28th. Right now, it's still of value to what I'm doing. So once that piece is now back in place, I'll take that piece and go forward. And then quiet that anger, because when angry, you make silly decisions and you start working at a higher level. It is proven that when we allow anger to take us to a level that it would love to take us, our performance level comes down. So if I was to allow anger to stay behind the wheel of the car, then I can't drive my life the way I should. So the first thing I did was take a deep breath and said, okay, missed the mark here, but I still got Christmas. I still have other days coming. And you know what? It's not like the book is going anywhere. So is there some disappointment? Yes, but disappointment cannot be long lasting, because the moment is not long lasting. The moment happened, or the moment will happen. It is you that is continually dragging that disappointment forward. Well, I'm not going to do that. I did that for 2 days, and I was mad at myself that I allowed that to happen. How did I allow disappointment to cling on to me to where I'm getting angry? No. The focus now is, what can I do in the time left in the deadline I set? And then once I get to that point, what's going to be the new deadline? And I'm already thinking, what do I do going forward? What changes do I need to make? Do I change who I'm working with? Do I change how short I created the deadline? I might need to go all the way back to the beginning and ask myself a very hard question. Was this deadline even realistic for me? So before I started to branch out, did I even give myself room for the possible potholes? Thank you, darling. So we have to stop and really catch ourselves, because you can start to dig that hole and it just keeps getting deeper and deeper and deeper. And you look up and now you can't even see the opening. You just see the light, because you've dug that hole, because the situation's over with. Hello from Russia, big man. Thank you. Now, I hope that doesn't turn into something negative, so I'll take it as a positive. Welcome from Russia. But I just want to say that to anybody that's in any profession, and especially, I am great, thank you for asking, especially to my entrepreneurs and people who are in business for themselves. The reason why we cannot hold on to the negatives is because we get paid by what we do. So time is of such an essence that you can't allow even your own negative emotions to take time out of your pocket. Because time is money, time is promotion, time is marketing, time is everything that's going on with you. And you need to understand that. See, sometimes we put the money first, and it's not. It's the time. Hello from Brazil. Hey, from Brazil, hello. It is the time. Because if you have enough time, you'll make enough money. If you have enough time, you'll make up for any mistakes. If you have enough time, oh yes, without question. Without question, it goes into our daily lives. And what we practice in our business should be practiced in our daily lives too, Sexy. So, Jonathan, you're 100% right, because it should be a daily practice. I'm like that at school all the time. I tell students all the time, okay, this happened. What do we do going forward? So I am that way. That's why I was so upset that I gave away a day and a half, almost 2 days to this foolishness. And then I took a deep breath and said, it's going to be what it's going to be. I believe this, that forces of nature are holding my book back because I believe I wrote a monster. Yes, I don't care whether you believe me or not. I believe me. I believe that I went on in a new direction, out of my comfort zone, with this fictional book, this inspirational fictional book, Lukewarm Saint. I believe that I exposed a new talent of my own, because I had never written fiction to this length before. So I believe even the world knows if he unleashes that, it may take him places that we couldn't hold him back if we tried. That's my thought. And that's how I turn negatives into positive. Now, some people watching may go, are you crazy? Yes, because you have to be when you're following something that you can't see. My dreams I can't see yet. I see them here, but they haven't actualized yet. I have to make them happen. So I saw it, but now I got to make it happen. So I'm chasing something that hasn't happened yet because I believe that I will make it happen. So that's why I got upset. So for yourself, whether it's work, home, whatever it is, stop for a second. Do not allow anger to get you to such a place that you cannot function and you cannot do the things that you want to do, because then that becomes a problem for everyone connected to you. Even the person that I have working for me, I don't want to put undue pressure on that person to where I possibly spoil a relationship, but I do have to take into consideration what happened. And if I have to make certain professional moves, then I hope that it's understood. And if it's not, my wife is calling. Honey, I'll call you right back.
Did you get my message?
No, I did not. I'm on Periscope, and you're live. I'll call you right back.
All right. 2
minutes. Thank you, darling. See? This is how you know it's live. That's a wife. She understands this is what I'm doing. And I have to consider that. Oh, you always have to back up. My grandmother used to say the same thing. Take a step back, take a deep breath, and allow the Lord to speak to you before you do something that could cost you and everyone around you. And I have held on to that for some time. I do not act on things out of anger, because anger is a blinding force. It is a blinding type of energy that when it dissipates and you get your vision back, you might have ruined everything. So I have always kept myself to where I would just walk away. That's why when I hear guys go, oh, I just got so upset I put my hands on a woman. Never. Because my grandmother taught me years ago, you walk out that door before you allow anger to cause you to put your hands on a woman, to put your hands on anyone. So for me, I'll go find myself before I allow anger to dictate my actions, because there are many a man or woman incarcerated because they allowed anger to direct their path. So to everybody watching, because you see I have to call the wife back, I just want to simply say to all of us in business, any form of business that you're in, anything that you're doing, there are going to be minor and major potholes. There are going to be things sometimes placed in your way on purpose, sometimes inadvertently. Either way, they're going to come. What you need to do is do not get so upset that you cannot focus. It is okay to be angry, because that is a natural human emotion. It is not okay to allow the anger to then dictate your actions after you've acknowledged that you're angry. Take a deep breath. Okay, now where do we go? Or what am I going to do? And then do it. If you got to pray, pray. If you got to meditate, meditate. If you got to call someone, call someone. But do not allow, thank you, darling, do not allow anger to be your chauffeur. Don't steal my line. Give me credit when you write that down. Do not allow anger to be your chauffeur. By KLBELVIN today on Periscope. I don't want to see that nowhere on the internet and you jack my line. Do not allow anger to be your chauffeur. But anyway, I'm just saying, seriously, we have to stay in control of ourselves, because our greatness is our focus. And if we want, then we have to focus enough to go get it. And then we have to believe it. Jesus take the wheel. But that's the same thing. Are we going to see Jesus at this moment? No, we are not. But we have to believe that in believing in him and believing in ourselves through him, everything that we actually want and need is out there and available to us. And Jesus has no connection to anger. So why even hang that left? It makes no sense. So anyway, guys, my name is KLBELVIN. You can find me on all social media platforms. Thank you. You have a great day too, love. Facebook, KLBELVIN, Twitter, KLBELVIN, Google+, KLBELVIN. And the book that I am referring to is Lukewarm Saint. Inspirational fiction about an educator who is torn between his lust for women and what he knows to be the right way to act. But he's torn between what he wants and what he knows is the right thing to do. He has two friends, one pretty much on each shoulder. One saying you need to chill, turn your life to the Lord. The other one is saying do anything that you want because you're a grown man and you can do that. He also has a mother and grandmother who are trying their hardest to prevent him from being like his father and grandfather, because he comes from a bloodline of misogyny. But you have to read the book to find out what that is and what happened and what will it take for a man to actually change his ways, if he changes his ways at all. You'd have to read the book to find out. And I really believe that you'll be able to share this book with those who are torn between what's right and what's wrong, because we all will come to some type of crossroad that will force us to make some type of choice. It is better to have control of the choice yourself than let someone else or God himself make the choice for you. Either way, the choice will be made. The question is, what's going to be the consequence, and are you ready to deal with it? That is what my book addresses. That is what my book is about, and I really believe that you will enjoy it. If you need to reach me to speak, BRAVIN Publishing, www.bravin, B-R-A-V-I-N, publishing.com is my website. My email to get in touch with me is mainoffice@bravinpublishing.com. That's mainoffice@BRAVIN publishing.com. I look forward to hearing from you, and I will be scoping, probably not later today. I only scope once a day. Probably sometime tomorrow. But listen, look out for me, support me, reach out, let me know what you think.